Hey everyone, and welcome back on channel. My name is Alex with Meta Endurance, and we are here in Chamonix. It's UTMB week, and Brooks has some hot stuff cooking. Tim, as always, with us for Brooks' exciting news. Tim, how are you?
Yeah, I'm very good. Thanks again for having me. It's always an honor to be on your guys' channel. Yeah, we got an amazing launch here, so can't wait to finally talk about this product that we've been cooking up for a long time now.
And I mean, the context being in Chamonix instead of Amsterdam, where we usually shoot our videos, gives already the audience a hint. I mean, they probably already clicked on a thumbnail where they know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Can you unveil the secrets, Tim?
Yeah, for sure. So we're here to talk about this shoe, Cascadia Elite, which is going to be our pinnacle racing shoe for the trails, the technical trails. And we really wanted to make sure that this is the best in class for our athletes. Like our athlete teams are growing, and they really asked us to create a product for them to really help them over the longer distances. And yeah, this shoe is basically the end product of that.
It feels, I mean, let's maybe go back quickly to the Hyperion line, Hyperion Elite. It took a few years to get to the 4 PB, which was kind of a big hit for many people, and also very good for the brand, I guess, with the new technology DNA Gold. And here it seems like the first time around with the new Cascadia Elite, you nailed it. Can you explain how the process worked back in the days? When did you start working on this project? And how long did it take to nail down a shoe?
Yeah, that's a solid question. So I feel like this shoe has been on the planning for at least the last, let's say, 4 or 5 years. But it has been an evolution, really, this product. So we took a lot of learnings from a previous trail project that we were working on, which was the ultra distance project. And a lot of the learnings that we had from that shoe went into this shoe, but then also a lot of the learnings we had on the Hyperion Elite category with the foams, the geometries, and learnings from the plates and everything in between, that also went into this shoe. So I would say it's the best learnings from both of these worlds that came together and that became this project. And the final product is really a reflection of us learning and adapting, and then, yeah, having this first product basically being as good as it is. Yeah.
I to be honest with you, I ran with this shoe today, and I was really blown away. I didn't go on the trails, I went on the road, so it's probably a huge mistake to test a trail shoe. But I had a short time frame, and I just decided to go for it.
Yeah.
But I was still blown away, and I look forward to testing it on the trail. Tim, can you maybe tell us maybe the reasons why I liked it so much, starting with the upper? I felt so comfortable, but at the same time locked in. What did you go for in terms of upper material here?
Yeah, I think with these types of shoes, the upper is such a big part of the shoe, because if you're going longer and longer distances, you really need an upper that can actually accommodate your foot over these distances, but then also be able to give you a great lockdown, great breathability, especially on technical trails. Like, the durability of these types of shoes is very important. So for this shoe, we really focused on having the best in class. So we focused on having the same fit of the upper as the Hyperion Elite, which our athletes have been giving us just phenomenal feedback about. And then we partnered up here with Matrix to get the best durability, the best breathability, the lowest weight that we can possibly get for our trail shoes. And then we also wanted to make sure that, especially on trail running, there's a lot of debris, there's rocks, there's a lot of stuff that can stop your run if it gets into the shoe. So we really wanted to make sure that that cannot happen. So we focused on having like a booty construction. We have like let's say a gaiter system here that wraps around your ankle to really make sure there is no possibility of any debris getting into the shoe. So basically what we wanted to do is you lace the shoe up, and then the first time you unlace it is when you're finished, and nowhere in between. And that was a big focus. So that came back also with the laces. We incorporated like the lace keeper to make sure that the laces stay in place. And yeah, basically all of those ingredients went into this upper. Yeah.
It's interesting because Brooks is well known for the comfort of your shoes, of their shoes, and this is no different. Yet when I saw it, I saw the booty construction. I'm not a huge fan of booty constructions usually, as you might remember, and this worked really, really well. Maybe you can explain also for people watching. Some of them know, but the newcomers might not be aware. What is Matrix? What are the benefits of Matrix? And how hard is it to work as a material, maybe?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I feel Matrix in trail running at least is well known, well established. I would say it's on the same level as Vibram. And what they're really known for is working with a very specific fiber type. Like in our case, we are working with the Kevlar fibers. So very durable, very lightweight. And to work with these fibers is actually, it's not as hard as you might think. So you can still have the shaping of the materials that you want to have, the fit, the let's say the construction that you want from these uppers, but also like the hydrophobic qualities of these materials. So let's say you have a river crossing or it rains, these fibers will not hold on to any water whatsoever. So it's no additional weight, no additional issues with this type of upper. So yeah, those for us, those were the biggest benefits here. So durability, we were able to do with it what we wanted to do in terms of fit, and getting the booty construction on top of it as well. And the hydrophobic qualities, yeah, it's just all wins with this upper, I would say.
And then today when I tested the shoe, I obviously felt like I knew something about it already, and that's DNA Gold.
Yeah.
We had it on the 4PB, it's now on the Hyperion Elite 5 as well. And it's here. Obviously, the taste is a bit different because I think the outsole kind of changes a bit the perception of that material. But yet, it was super dynamic, very zesty, very comfortable as well. I mean, the level of cushion and the ratio cushion to dynamism is impressive. What did you do compared to the other road shoes? Is it a different type of DNA Gold, or did you just take the same and because the recipe works, apply it here?
I think it's a little bit of both. So in terms of when we look at the foam itself, it's exactly the same recipe. So it's a supercritical nitrogen-infused PEBA foam. But for the trails, we really wanted to make sure that the shoe adapts very differently to the surface, right? So when you look at road running, the PEBA foam, it's really like a propulsive ride to it. So you need to make sure that every bit of the propulsion goes through the entire length of the shoe. Whereas, especially with this shoe, we really needed to make sure that the foam and the entire midsole is able to adapt to the surface to get like a stability element to it. Because in trail running, we talk a lot about stability. And when we talk about stability at Brooks, we say, you know, we establish stability through adaptability of the trails. So it's a lot of the learnings from the Cascadia with the Trail Adapt system. That is also what went into this shoe. And that goes from the plate that's inside of the shoe. It goes to like the midsole sculpting, because the sculpting of these types of midsoles, they have a big impact on how the foam can compress and decompress, and that will influence the way that it feels underfoot. And then of course, I mean, the geometry, it's a very wide base, it's a stable base, and all of those different elements, from the sculpting to the broadness of the base, the rocker geometries, they all really change how this shoe feels underfoot, even though it's exactly the same foam, it's the same stack height basically. So a lot of the same, but enough differences to make it feel differently and be true for trail running.
And there's obviously a huge difference. There's 2 layers of DNA Gold. I think we can show it here.
Yeah, for sure.
But then in between, there's a plate that doesn't look like anything we've seen before, or at least not at Brooks. What's the purpose of that shape, and how did you come up with that idea?
Yeah, that's a solid question. So I feel, again, this plate has been, I would say, an evolution of the ultra distance project that we did. And for the ultra distance project, we were looking at problems that we can solve for ultra runners. And when we were studying, there were a lot of things that led to like DNFs for runners. And that was typically like half race, no matter what the distance is. Most DNFs happen at mid race. So when you get fatigued and when your running form goes down, and we were really trying to find a way to resolve some of these issues. And one of the things that we found is as soon as let's say your running form collapses, you really lean into the heel of the shoe. So for this project, we basically had a plate that was only in the heel, and this really started to act up as soon as you were leaning into the heel. This plate made you immediately move and transition to the forefoot to make sure that there is less time on the heel, so there's less possibility for, let's say, ankle roll. You would be forced to move into the transition, so it would help you keep your form for a longer period of time. And then moving into this project, we moved into DNA Gold, which is a very different type of foam. So we were looking for a way to stabilize the foam more than having like the propulsion. Because from all of our studies, we found, we tested carbon fiber plates, we tried different setups, and we really saw that the benefits of a carbon fiber plate against like the negatives of it were just unbalanced. So we said no carbon fiber plates, no stiffening agents per se. So the plate in this shoe, the geometry of it and the material of it is really to stabilize the foam so that you can have the best propulsion on trails with the midsole still being able to adapt to the surface. And the learning that I was just talking about in terms of like the heel. So when you look at the heel part of the plate, you can see it's like a little bit of a cup and it's shaped, let's say, forward. And that's really the learning we had from the Ultra Distance project. So as soon as you start leaning into the heel of this plate is immediately pushing you forward. And the fork is, again, this is like the trail adapt, so it makes sure that you can adapt to the surface with the midsole. And it's a carbon infused P-Bax. So it's really flexible. There's no real propulsion or rigidity for it. So really to stabilize the entire package without compromising on transition, the heel piece, and the adaptability to the surface.
Tim, I need to ask a question right now because I'm starting to get a bit worried. We have a matrix upper, DNA gold, carbon-infused P-Bax for the plate, for the stiffening element, stabilizing element.
Yeah.
What's going to be the price point of these beasts?
I think you're going to be surprised. So this shoe will sit at 250 euros and $275. So it's basically in line with everything that you see in the market right now, even though there's a lot happening on this shoe.
Yeah, and I mentioned all the tech. I didn't even mention the outsole.
Oh man, the outsole. Yeah.
I think we discussed it earlier together, but I think this is only the second, maybe at the time it will release, not the second anymore, but it's the second shoe I hear of with the Mega Grip Elite from Vibram.
Yeah.
Why did you choose this specific compound from Vibram?
Yeah, again, I feel for this shoe we want it to be the best we can possibly give our athletes and consumers when this one comes to the market. And we really wanted to partner up with Vibram because, again, it's best in class. And this outsole was initially I would say like a mind child of our both. So we took a lot of learnings that Vibram had in the past. We took the learnings that we ourselves had as Brooks, and we combined those, and that became basically the lug design and the lug placement. And then moving with like Vibram Mega Grip Elite was the most logical step for us because this is best in class. It's lighter, it's more flexible, so it will be able to adapt to the surface more. So you get the lightest outsole with the best grip that there is out there right now. And then with all the learnings from Vibram as well, with the traction lugs and everything in between. So yeah, this was an obvious choice for us at this point. Yeah.
Which really makes me realize how stupid I am not going on the trails today for my run and going on the road because I should have tested the Mega Grip Elite already today.
You will get there.
I will get there here in Chamonix, hopefully.
Yeah.
Tim, we didn't mention numbers. We both love numbers. What's the stack height, the drop, the weight of this shoe, please?
Yeah, for sure. So this will sit at a 40 millimeter in the heel with a 6 millimeter drop. And this weight is going to come in at around 260 grams.
For a size US 9.
US 9,
Yeah.
yes.
And I think the release date is somewhere around March of next year.
Yes.
But if people are lucky enough to be in Chamonix right now, and if you're watching this video, you might want to drop by the House of Mountains.
Yeah.
Iron, our friends here, are hosting this video, and you might be able to test this shoe here already.
Yeah.
Tim, thank you so much. I think we might actually do the videos here now and not in Amsterdam anymore. It's a good setup.
I prefer the setting. Yeah, for sure.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.